how to heal from heartbreak and find the love that you deserve. People struggle so much with moving on after a breakup. There's science behind it, actually, because when your heart is broken, it's similar to drug withdrawal. There are brain scan studies that show that when you see a picture of your ex, there's a chemical that's released. It's called dopamine, and it gives you that giddy feeling inside. It's also the same brain region associated with drug addiction. We have many chemicals that are released when we're in love, and it makes us feel incredible, amazing, right? That giddy feeling that, oh my God, I feel like the world is beautiful and wonderful. And these chemicals also make us a little stupid inside. I call them stupid chemicals because they make us not see those red flags, or we see them and we push them down. So when a man breaks up with you, suddenly you're cut off from physical touch, which is also a chemical that gets released when we touch physically. So when we don't have that physical touch, our brain that was chemically dependent on those hits of chemicals, dopamine and other chemicals, is now deprived. And that's why we can have difficulty sleeping and eating and obsessing about our ex. I have been there, done that. Oh my God, it's the worst feeling. We also can experience triggers, like there are things that remind us about our ex that can also release those chemicals. So if we go to some place that we had been together, something that you did together, people that you knew together, things that you cook together, smells, any of those things can reignite that feeling of, oh my God, I miss him. And that's what leads us to do things that are irrational, like drive by his house and stalk him. But it's all part of a psychological process of withdrawal. So I don't want you to feel bad about how you dealt with the breakup, because it's natural. It's part of your brain science that made us get into this state in the first place. There's even a term called broken heart syndrome, which feels like you're going to die. It is very rare, but never underestimate the physical responses we have to a breakup. Don't think that because you feel this way, that it's because he was the one and he got away. He left you. This is all physiological. It's all based on science, not because he was the one. A lot of this is based on an interview I had with Samantha Burns, who is the author of a book about breakups and how to heal from breakups. And I'll put a link to that. So how can you heal and get over your breakup? The first thing Samantha suggests is to adapt a 90-day no contact rule. It's really important to have that 90-day no contact rule because it's so easy to get into a weak state of mind, especially when during coronavirus where we're all isolated and we're missing contact or missing touch. It's so easy to reach out to an ex. So please, no contact, at least 90 days. The second thing is practice self-care. Take care of yourself. Get enough sleep. Get enough to eat. Eat healthy. Take care of yourself. Exercise. These are really important. These are just so basic, but it's so easy to give that up when you're going through a breakup. The third thing you can do is to figure out, who are you now without him? And a lot of times if you've been in a long-term relationship, you have adapted your life to accommodate him, to be with his friends. And maybe you've given up a lot of who you are in order to be with this person. Often when a relationship isn't healthy and when it ends, see that we were not really being true to ourselves. So I want you to really spend some time figuring out, what did you give up in this relationship and who are you now? What do you need to reclaim? The fourth step is to identify some new goals and interests. It's really important to find what makes you happy now. You might have spent a long time making somebody else happy. Now it's time for you. And so find something, a goal to set. And having those goals will help you to get up in the morning, to really have something to look forward to give you a little more excitement to start your day. And number 5 is really, really essential. And this is something that you may have to do with a coach or a therapist. I do this with clients. And that is to understand how your childhood interactions with your caregiver, how that influences who you've been dating or who you feel comfortable with. We choose our partners based on how we were raised and based on our caregivers. And that's how we get our attachment style. So if you are attracted to men who don't want you and you feel like you earned their love by accommodating them, you get into the same kind of relationships over and over and over, it's important to learn, how do I attach so I don't attach so quickly next time. If you have a habit of getting attached really quickly, or getting attached to men who reject you or who are hard to get, these are really important attachment styles to look at, because these can lead to really unhealthy relationships. This is some of the work that I do at the beginning of a coaching relationship, because it is so important to know where we came from, to know how we got here, to know how not to repeat the same patterns. And we have blind spots. We don't always see what we can't see. So when you go to date again, you will date with intent and purpose, because you want to have somebody who shares your core values. And we talk about that in coaching as well. Like, what are the core values that you want to align with? When I work with a client, we have our must-have list, we have our deal breaker list, and we put them front and center. And anytime you can, whenever a relationship doesn't work or whenever you feel uncomfortable, you double check that list and you see, does he have all of those things on the must-have list? Does he have none of the things on the deal breaker list? And it's a small list. But often, the relationships you were in were people who did not have all those things and had one deal breaker that made everything else null and void. So you want to take the pressure off of having to find the one, and date to have fun in the beginning. Learn from every experience. When I work with a client, I help them debrief dates, so they're learning about men, they're picking up on red flags quickly, and they're learning about themselves. They're looking at, what did I do well on that date? Did I speak up when I was uncomfortable? Did I get curious? These are all really important things that are hard for us, but we can practice them on every date and we can learn and grow. So if you are taking the pressure off of having to have each person be the one, and you can take your time so that you can assess your partners in the future, you'll make better choices and you will not have this breakup disrupt your future. You'll be able to use it as a learning tool so that you don't keep repeating the same mistakes, and that you end up having the hope that you will go on your last first date. If you are interested in learning more about how I can help you to get your must-have and deal breaker list, to learn about your unhealthy childhood patterns that helped you that got you where you are today, let's talk. Let's do a complimentary half-hour breakthrough session. And I'll talk to you about any hidden blind spots that you don't see and opportunities for you to grow and attract your last first date. Just go to lastfirstdate.com/breakthrough, and I will look at your form, and if I feel we're a good fit, we'll set up a time to talk.